Hey everybody, it's time for some payoff pitch baseball, and today we got a special game as I would like to play another game to honor some of the YouTube content creators, guys that put out videos of sports games. The most recent one I did before was the APA game with Utah Mike, Sports Time Machine, 78 Yankees. Well, today we're going 1 year in advance to 1979 for Chris of Tabletop Sports, Delaware. This is Game 7 of the 1979 World Series between the Pittsburgh Pirates, the We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Baltimore Orioles. And the game will be coming from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. So this particular season set I did a PDF for a while back, so these are going to be looking a little bit different than the normal payoff pitch cards you're used to seeing, the printed sets. The ones on the PDF are a little bit larger and, of course, in color. So let's look at the pitching matchup for both teams for this critical Game 7. Pitching matchups for the Pirates, it'll be right-hander Jim Bibby, who in 1979 was 12-4 with a 2.81 ERA. And for the Orioles, it'll be left-hander Scott McGregor. He was 13-6 with a 3.35. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, plus their bench players, so you know who I have available and who I don't, based on their rosters for the series. All right, leading things off for the We Are Family Pirates, it'll be Omar Moreno in center field. Batting second will be Tim Foley at short. Hitting third in right field is Dave Parker. Batting cleanup is the left fielder Bill Robinson. Hitting fifth is Pops Willie Stargell. Batting sixth is the third baseman Bill Madlock. Batting seventh and catching is Steve Nikosha. He is the right-handed version of the platoon between him and Ed Ott. And you can see on the card right here the difference between lefties and righties, how he crushes lefties at 326. Righties hit only 170. So if you're playing a game like APA Basic or Strat Basic, you're going to miss all that. And if you try to use Nikosha against a right-hander, it's just not going to be quite as realistic in my opinion. Batting eighth is the second baseman Phil Garner, and batting ninth using pitcher hitting card number 1 is Jim Bibby. All right, let's look at the bench and bullpens for the Pirates. These are the guys that are available off the bench should they be needed. We got the hitman Mike Easler. We have Lee Lacey. We have Matt Alexander. We have Manny Sanguillen. We have the other regular catcher Ed Ott, who actually did okay against lefties, but primarily played against righties. You can see the discrepancy in the number of at-bats. John Milner is also on the bench, and so is Rennie Stennett. Now for the bullpen for the Pirates, they line up like this. Don Robinson, who was mainly a starter, but he did relieve in this game because Bibby only went 4 innings in the real game, so Robinson was the first guy out the pen. You have a lefty Grant Jackson. You have right-hander Enrique Romo. You have their closer, Kent DeColvey, at 31 saves. Then you also have guys Bruce Keeson and Jim Rooker, who, Candelaire is not really going to be a viable option, and Blyleven, they were just in the back of the stack, so they're not really involved. You can ignore them. All right, let's go to the Orioles starting lineup from Earl Weaver, and that's going to be Al Bumry leading off in center. Kiko Garcia, the shortstop, gets the call in place of Belanger because he hits a little bit better. His fielding's not quite as good, though. Singleton is in right. He will hit third. Eddie Murray, the cleanup man, will be at first base. John Lowenstein in left field. And you can see that he's the right-handed platoon along with Gary Renicky. So again, if you're playing a game like APA or Strat Basic that does not use the left-right splits, and you use Lowenstein against a lefty starter, how realistic is that? He only hit .077, so Chuck Tanner wouldn't dare do it. So why should we do that in a board game? So to me, players like this are the ones that you really miss out on when you play a basic version versus an advanced version. Somebody like, let's go back and look at Kiko Garcia. All right, Kiko Garcia hits lefties at 252 and righties at 245. Really not much difference there. They don't even need splits here because it's so similar. But when you've got a guy that's extreme like that, that's where you need the splits. All right, Doug, to get back. Now, that was a sidebar, so let's get off the sidebar soapbox and keep going. That was Lowenstein. He hits fifth. Batting sixth is third baseman Doug DeSensei. Rick Dempsey, catcher, will bat seventh. Rich Dower, second base, will hit eighth. And batting ninth and actually using pitcher hitting card number 3 is Scott McGregor. So in this case, the American League pitcher who never batted actually has a better rated batting card than does his counterpart. All right, let's look at the Oriole bench. They have, for pinch hitters, they have Lee May, who's normally the DH, and of course there's no DH in this World Series. Gary Renicky again. Now he's got decent splits both ways, so you wouldn't be penalized too much for using him against a righty, but of course Earl Weaver played that game with the platoon, which he was famous for back in the day. Dave Skaggs, the backup catcher. Billy Smith is at second, or he can play second base in place of Dower if need be. Benny Ayala. Pat Kelly, and again, Pat Kelly can't hit left-handed pitching to save his life in that season, so he's strictly against a right-hander off the bench. Terry Crowley is off the bench, and Mark Belanger, if he's needed, in case they pinch hit for Garcia, they need Belanger to come in and play short. So that's their bench, and let's look at their bullpen. We've got Tippy Martinez. We've got Don Stanhouse, known as Stan the Man Unusual. Sammy Stewart. Tim Stoddard. Dennis Martinez, who did relieve in this game, and Mike Flanagan, who relieved in this game. So all hands were on deck, as the case would be. All right, so got all this stuff prepared, and then I forgot to bring out the dice, so that was not very smart of me, now was it? So please bear with me while I get the dice out. And let's see what, do I want to have any particular color dice? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to do a yellow and an orange for Pittsburgh and for Baltimore to represent their team colors. But the D10s, I don't think I have any D10s that are in a particular color other than black and white and red. So let's go with black and white for the D10s. So this is what we have. This is what we have for dice. We've got, for the 2D6s, we've got one each for Pittsburgh and Baltimore, and it doesn't really matter on the color, because if you're doing runner advancement with dice, which I'm actually using fast action cards, but if you do it for dice, it's always the lead number or the low number, so the color really is irrelevant. Color here is relevant because you want to do black for 10s and white for 1s on the D20. All right, and like I said, I've got the stack of fast action cards. I'm going to use those for base runner advancement, just to try to keep it simple as possible and not worry about the dice rolls. Or I do have ID gestures charts, but for this game I want to keep it really simple, and for people that haven't seen the game, I don't want to try to overcomplicate it by using charts that people may not have seen. I do have, for if I want to steal bases, I do have the jump chart to use, so that's something to go by. I've got a bases empty player rare play chart that goes from 11 to 66. So if there's runners on base, or if the bases are empty, we'll use this rare play chart. If there's runners on base, there's a separate rare chart for that. I also have a side chart for sacrifice flies, so I'm going to use that in case the sacrifice fly situation comes up. And I think that's about it. So other than that, I think we're ready to go. So what I'm going to try to do, see if I can get everything in space here. It's the score sheet. And I think what I'm going to try to do is get both the player cards. I think I tested earlier, these will fit, but we will see just to be sure. So the pitcher, Scotty McGregor, because we always go to the pitcher first, will be there. And the first batter for the Pirates, Omar Moreno, will be there. And let me just double check and make sure you can see these. I think you can. I was testing it earlier, but let me just double check it and make sure everything's in sight. I think it is. You can see the score sheet, and you can see the player cards pretty well, I think. Got Memorial Stadium back here. I might move Memorial Stadium because that's kind of in the way. So I'll bring that out when and if it's necessary. And then we'll roll the dice. So we are now ready to go. So this is for Chris, Tabletop Sports Delaware. It used to be called Stratomatic Delaware, but then he changed it to Tabletop Sports Delaware because he branched out to other games. A wonderful content creator. I suggest you check out his channel, give him a like and a sub, and encourage him. I think recently he's been doing some stuff with History Maker Baseball for the 2020 projection set. So we are underway. Scott McGregor, the first pitch of Game 7. This game was played October 17th, 1979, Memorial Stadium. And we're underway. We Get an 8. 8 is tough and a 33. So a tough and a 33. McGregor's a lefty, so we go to the left-hand side of Moreno under the tough column. 33, a 1 to 61. If I can get my fat finger rather than choose a pen. 1 to 61 is a strikeout. So Moreno out on strikes, 1 away. And that brings up the shortstop, Tim Foley. So let's see what Foley can do. And again, I'm hoping you can see all this on the camera. 9 and a 25. 9 and a 25. 9 on McGregor is in play. 25 for Foley in play against a left-hander. That's the very last number in his single check. So that's a base hit for Tim Foley. If it had been a 26 or higher, he would have been out, but he got the base hit. Now, he's not really a threat to steal. He stole 6 bases, got caught 5 times. But with the big boys coming up, Chuck Tanner's not going to try to do anything fancy. Here's Big Dave Parker, the Cobra. And we get a 6 and a 63. 6 and a 63. 6 is tough. 63 tough against a left-hander. 61 would have been a single, but 63 we drop down here. It's a fly to left. So that's out number 2 as Parker is retired. That brings up the left fielder, Bill Robinson. He's batting cleanup because they're facing a lefty. And you can see Bill Robinson's card. He had 311 against lefties, only 217 against right-handers. So that's why Chuck Tanner had him in the number 4 spot, and Stargell dropped down to 5th to break up those lefties. 4 for McGregor and a 63. 4 is in play. 63 in play as well, out of range on Robinson's card. 63 will be a ground ball to second. We could check for a double play, but that's the 3rd out of the inning, so there's no need. And it will be an easy inning for McGregor. Gave up a 2-out single, or I'm sorry, a 1-out single, but nothing else. So now, Pirates are gone in the 1st, and I know that Chris is a big Pirate fan, so we'll hope the Pirates can do something for him. Of course, I'm going to play this thing straight up and be fair to both teams. That's the way Chris would want it, I'm sure. So, Al Bumry, the batter. Al Bumry will lead things off against Jim Bibby. We get a 4, which is in play 29. In play 29 is the very last number in his base hit chart right here. So Al Bumry, a leadoff single. Now, he stole 37 bases, so he's definitely a threat to steal, but can he get a jump? That's what we will find out. His steal rating number is a 5, and the hold rating on Bibby is a 9. So we come over here to the hold rating for the pitcher of a 9, jump rating of a 5. We cross-reference, and it says right here 0 to 70 he gets to attempt. 71 to 99 he has to hold. So we're going to roll 2 d10s. If it's a 70 or less, he will attempt to steal. It's an 88, so he has to hold. So Bumry cannot get the jump that he wanted, so he will have to hold. Now Garcia could bunt him to second possibly, if that's what they wanted to try. So let's see, they may do that. They may do that. And let's see, do we want to try? Yep, okay, so let's look at his rating for bunting. He is an A bunter. He's an A bunter. Pirates are going to bring the infield corners in to make him a B bunter. So we're going to go to the fast action card, and we're going to flip the next one over and look at the sacrifice bunt thing and see what it says. So we flip it over, and the B it says good sacrifice. In fact, this card has all good sacrifices, and the fielding position is the catcher. So in this case, Garcia drops it down. Nicosia got out front, got it, throws to first, which was being covered by Garner, who had flipped over there as Stargell was charging. And it's a good sacrifice bunt, so we'll not use that fast action card anymore and put that to the side. And Garcia does his job. So Bumry's now at second base, where he can score on a base hit pretty easily, I would think. And here's Ken Singleton. So 1 out, and Earl Weaver, not a big fan of the bunt, but in that case, I think it kind of had to happen. So here's Singleton. 6 and a 20. 20 on the D20s, on the D6 10s rather. 6 for Bibby is patient. 20 patient for Singleton is a walk, so Bumry would have gotten to second either way, as it turns out. So Singleton with a walk, that does set up a double play for Eddie Murray. And Eddie Murray's got a double play rating of 8. outs, and Bibby's got a double play rating of 8. So if he can get the ground ball, it's a good chance for a double play. It's what Tanner is counting on. 7 and 94. 7 is tough. 94 is out of range. 94 is a fly to right, though. So not going to be able to do anything there. Now, let's see. Is there a provision? I play so many games that I get confused. If you can get from second to third on a fly to right. It was tough, though, so it says all runners hold. If it was patient, see, I'm using this little chart here. If it's patient, if no runner on third base, runner on second may attempt to move to third using the coach's choice. If it's patient, but since it's tough, all runners hold. So I'm just going to default to that without knowing the exact thing to do with that. So why take the chance? I mean, he's in scoring position already, so getting to third with 2 outs really doesn't do much for him. So here's Lowenstein against Bibby. We get an 8. 8 is in play and a 44. In play 44 is out of range for Lowenstein. It only goes to 25. 44 is a ground ball to third, so Madlock will field it, throw to Stargell to end the inning. Again, we would check for a double play, but there's already 2 outs. So that's it for the Orioles. Nothing going on in the first for either team. We go to the second, no score. Scott McGregor back out, and he'll be facing Pops, Willie Stargell. Pops stepping to the plate. Get a 6 and a 17. 6 is tough, 17 is a strikeout. So Pops out on strikes. Let's move this over here a little bit so we can get the score sheet more involved as the innings get longer. So Pops with a strikeout. 1 away, and that brings up Bill Madlock. Mid-season acquisition from the Giants that really helped the Pirates out. 7 is in play and an 18. In play and an 18 is a base hit for Bill Madlock. So 1 out single. Now he did steal 21 bases. So let's check out the hold rating on McGregor is a 7. Steal rating's a 5. So if we go to the jump rating, jump chart. Whoops, get the jump chart out here. 7 and a 5. 7 hold and a 5 jump. 7 hold and a 5 jump is a 0 through 56. So if we roll a 56 or less, he can try to steal. It's a 61, so again, he cannot get the jump. So both pitchers so far holding the runners on quite well. 1 away, and that brings up Nicosia, who does really well against left-handed pitching. So we'll see how that turns out with McGregor. We get an 8. 8 is tough. 0-3, that's a strikeout. You get those tough low numbers, that's a strikeout whether you're lefty or righty. So 2 down, that brings up Phil Garner. Now first base is open. They could walk Garner and pitch to Bibby if they choose to do so. Or they could take a chance on Garner. And I think with first base open, they're going to... I'm sorry, first base is not open. The runner's on first. I was thinking Madlock's on second. My bad. So we're obviously going to pitch away to Garner. Jumped the gun there, thinking Madlock was on second. 7 is in play 25. Well, that's a base hit right there. In play 25 is a base hit. So it is a base hit for Garner. The question is, can Madlock get to third? Now, there's a rule with 2 outs, a runner of 6 or better gets an extra base. He's a 7, so obviously he will get to third base. Since there were 2 outs, he gets that advantage. And now there's runners on the corners with 2 outs, and it's the pitcher Jim Bibby, who's coming up. He's a pitcher rating card number 1, so not likely to get much of a chance here. And unlike Strat, you can't just get a resolve to pitcher card and give you a break. You've got to go to the batter card. So a weak hitting pitcher is not going to get a break by getting something off the pitcher card. All right, we got a 7, which is in play, and a 32. In play 32. In play only goes to 9 on the pitcher card. So 32 is a ground ball to Murray at first. And that's going to end the inning as the 3rd out. Again, we would have checked for a double play, but didn't have to. So that's going to do it for the Buccos here in the top of the 2nd. McGregor pitches around some trouble. Go to the bottom of the 2nd, still no score. And it will be Doug DeSensei, 3rd baseman, to lead off for the Orioles. He'll be followed by Rick Dempsey and Rich Dower. So 3 Ds in a row. DeSensei, Dempsey, and Dower. 3 Ds in a row. Bibby, 9 is tough. 26, tough 26 is a strikeout. So one away as DeSensei is dispatched. Here's Dempsey. Dempsey, a 3 is wheelhouse. That's trouble. 55 for Dempsey in the wheelhouse. Wheelhouse for him only goes to 39 though, so 55 to come down here, it's a fly to right. So fortunately for Bibby, he didn't get one of those power hitters to have the wheelhouse. He got somebody else, and that prevented a possible home run. It's Rich Dower. 4 is in play. 06. 06 in play is going to be a double for Rich Dower. So Dower, a 2-out double. And what that will do is allow McGregor to bat now rather than have to lead off the next inning. He is on pitch rating card number 3. So Bibby has to make sure he doesn't give up anything stupid. He's got another wheelhouse check. But 46, wheelhouse only goes to 16, so 46 down here. Ground ball to third. Madlock to Stargell. And that'll do it. So 2 innings are in the books. Nothing's been decided. We're still at a stalemate, nothing to nothing. As both pitchers had little issues, but then pitched around them. So we go to the top of the third. It'll be Omar Moreno. And the top of the order. It is a 10, which is patient, and 04. That's an automatic walk when you get a patient with that low. And now you know Moreno's going to try to steal. He's got a 77 stolen bases on the season, so he's definitely looking to run. His steal rating is an 8, and the hold rating for McGregor is a 7. So we go to the hold rating of 7, jump of 8. So that gives us a 0 through 70 for him to get the jump. A 0 through 70. Nobody's been able to do it yet. Let's see if he can do it and finally get a stolen base attempt. He does. So this time he will steal. His steal rating is a B. The arm rating on Dempsey is a 1. So if we go to the chart for stolen bases, let's get the chart here. Don't tell me I don't have it in front of me. Got all these other charts. I should have the stolen base chart in front of me. Pull that out. There we go. All right, so B and a 1 is a combination we're looking for. B and 1 is this column right here. Right here. So it says a 60 through 99 he will steal. 13 to 59 he'll get caught. And anything up here is kind of interesting. So the odds may not be in his favor, but he got the jump, so he's going to have to. They're going to have to try to get something jump started for him. So what the Pirates are looking for is anything above 60. If it's 13 to 59, he is caught stealing. To 56, so they got him. Dempsey with that gun of an arm caught him. Caught stealing. 2 to 4. Dower put the tag down, and Moreno is out of there. So don't run on Rick Dempsey. That's the message there. He's got that best arm you can have with a 1, which really cuts down on things. So now the bases are clear for Tim Foley. 9 is in play. 45. In play 45 against a left-hander is out of range. It only goes to 25. 45 is a fly to right. And that's 2 down. So sorry about that, Chris. We tried to get some Pirate speed going there, and it just didn't pay off because Dempsey threw a bullet down there. Here's the Cobra. Parker. 9 is in play. 10. In play 10 against the lefty is a double. So a 2-out double for Parker, and now that's caught stealing really comes back to bite you because Moreno would have scored on that double for sure. And well, probably for sure, you would think. But now, runner at second, 2 outs for Bill Robinson. Maybe they can still get it done. 12 is wheelhouse. They might do it. But it's an 83. That's the bad part. So 83, his wheelhouse only goes to 71 against lefties. So 83 is going to be a ground ball to short. And Kiko Garcia will make the play. And the Pirates miss out on a golden opportunity to try to put a run on the board. Try to be aggressive. It just didn't pay off. So we go to the bottom of the third. And top of the order will be Al Bumry against Bibby. And we get a 2, which is ballpark. So we're going to go to the ballpark card. Bring back Memorial Stadium, which we haven't seen in a while. And the ballpark card, 92, says we're going to be in the in-play result. So no wheelhouse check is simply an in-play. We'll check Bumry in play. To 69, that's well out of range. 69 is a ground ball to short. So Foley will make the play, 1 away. And that will bring up Kiko Garcia. So Kiko, we get an 8, which is in play, 93. That's going to be a fly to left. 2 down for Ken Singleton, right fielder. Kenny Singleton. We get a 11, which is defense. Now we got a defensive check. Let's check what the defense says. Range of the shortstop. So the range of the shortstop, Foley, his range is a C. So we go back to Memorial Stadium. Look at the range C. 1 through 40 is a hit. 41 to 99 is an out. Well, the D10s are a 20, so that's a base hit. So Singleton gets it past Foley for the 2-out single. And that brings up Eddie Murray. Singleton not a threat to run, so he's nowhere near thinking about stealing. Here's Murray, especially with Murray at the plate. 5 is tough 33, tough 33. Now, one thing to be careful of, and if I don't play this game enough, I'll miss it, is that when a runner's on base, these pitchers have wild pitch ratings. Now, in Bibby's case, he's got a 30, but some pitchers have ratings that go like 30 to 35. And I rolled a 33. That would have been a wild pitch had that been a 0. Or had this been a 0, sorry. It would have been 30, and that would have been a wild pitch. But 33 does not fall in the wild pitch range, so we go straight over to here on the tough 33, and that is a strikeout. So Bibby gets the K on Murray. And 3 innings are in the books with nothing happening as far as the scoreboard goes. It is zip to zip. And things are getting tight here in Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Wild Bill Higgy has not had any means to do anything, and Sister Sledge certainly hasn't done anything either. So here is Scott McGregor facing Pops. Whoops. That is a 5, which is ballpark 24. Well, ballpark 24 is the wheelhouse, because 24 for a left-hander falls well in this 1 to 62 range. So for Stargell on a wheelhouse, 1 to 54 would be a home run, and he did hit a home run in this game in real life. So 1 to 54, and Stargell goes deep. It's a 37. Stargell has done it. He repeats history, leads off the 4th with a home run. He actually had 2 doubles and a homer in this game, which was why he was the MVP of the series. And he does it here. The Pirates now lead it 1 to nothing. Big Pops. Give him a star on his hat for that. Again, he was the one that originated the stars on the hat. Here's Bill Madlock. Madlock, 5 is ballpark again, 55. For a right-hander, 55 just misses the wheelhouse. It's in play now. So we'll do an in-play result for Madlock against the left-hander. 53 is going to be a fly to right. So 1 away. And even if he had gotten the wheelhouse, it still would have been an out because of that roll being too high. So here's Nicosia. Steve Nicosia. 4 is in play, 84. 84 for Nicosia, well out of range on the in play. It's a ground ball to short, and that's going to be 2 down as Kiko Garcia makes the play. And here's Phil Garner. He would like to get on so they could clear Bibby and lead off with Moreno next inning, but see if Garner can do it. He did single his first time up. 5 is ballpark again. 90, though, is going to be an in-play for sure. And we'll do a Garner in-play result. And it's a 17, so Garner in-play does get on base. 17's a base hit, so Garner 2 for 2. And like I said, more importantly, what that does is it allows Jim Bibby to hit this inning and clear him out so Moreno can lead off the 5th. Not looking for Bibby to get a hit right now, you don't think? 6 is especially on a tough result. Tough result, that's an automatic strikeout for pitcher card 1 through 99 will do that. But the Pirates take the lead on the Stargell homer. And you can hear Sister Sledge warming up in the background. But the Orioles say don't count your chickens just yet. We got a long way to go, which we do. All right, so we're only in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Lowenstein against Bibby. We get a 6, which is patient 55. Patient 55, base hit for Lowenstein. So leadoff single for John Lowenstein. He actually stole 16 bases, only got caught 4 times. So you wonder if he could try to steal here. Nicosia's arm is a 2, so he's also pretty good. Not as good as Dempsey, but still pretty good. Let's see if he can get a jump. Earl Weaver's gonna. I'm gonna go away a little bit away from what Earl Weaver would do, especially since we're getting towards the bottom of the order. He might try to make something happen. So the steal rating's a 6. The hold rating is a 9. So a 9 for the hold rating and a 6 for the steal rating. A 0 through 77, and he gets a jump. So 0 through 77, and Lowenstein can try to steal. 63, he does pass that check, so he will get to steal. His steal is a B, and Nicosia is a 2. So over here, with Dempsey, we were in the B1 column. Here we're in the B2 column. So a little bit better opportunity to be successful. 43 to 99, but a 13 through 42, and he will be thrown out. It's a 04. All right, that's a different result. 04 says that's a stolen base plus possible error on the catcher. That's what that 04 means, that SB2 plus E2. Roll 1d6 if higher than the catcher's E rating while throw into the outfield. Runner advances 1 extra base. So we'll roll 1 extra d6 and see if it matches the E rating of Nicosia, and his E rating is a 4. So it says if the die is higher than the E rating, it's a wild throw. So if it's a 5 or a 6, it's a wild throw. Anything else, it'll be blocked. And it's a 6, so it will be a throwing error. So how about that? Nicosia just chucks one into center field. And Lowenstein, by being aggressive, is now sitting on third base with nobody out, thanks to the error by Nicosia on the throw. So Lowenstein's at third with nobody out. Infield's going to play back. I mean, you don't want to give up a big inning. You almost kind of concede the run with nobody out. 10 is patient. 68. Patient 68's out of range. 68 is a ground ball to second, and I believe the runners will advance on that with the infield back. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. That's just why I'm going to play it. It just makes sense that way. So with the infield being back, they were giving up the run to get the out, prevent the big inning. So we are tied at a run apiece. RBI ground up by DeSensei. Had that gone to first or third, they probably would have had to hold, but in the middle, with them playing deep, that runner is going to score. Here now, bases are clear for Dempsey. It's a 4, which is in play. 36, that is out of range. 36 is a ground ball to Stargell. 2 down. Sends us to Rich Dower, and he's looking to get on so that McGregor doesn't have to lead off the 5th. We get an 11, which is defense. So we're doing a defensive check, which is an error check on the third baseman, Madlock. His error rating for Madlock is error rating of 4. So we go to Memorial Stadium. Error rating of 4. 1 through 26 is an error. Of course, we got a 98, so it's a good play. So Madlock makes the play, ends the inning, but we're tied at 1 after 4 complete. So you could argue maybe I should have brought the infield in, but I think realistically that's the way that Chuck Tanner would have played it. So here we go. Now with 1 out, they may have brought the infield in, but with nobody out, I don't think they would have done that. So here is Omar Moreno. He will lead things off. He walked and got caught stealing his last trip. We got an 8, which is tough, and a 44. Tough 44 against a lefty is a strikeout. So down goes Mr. Moreno. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Tim Foley. Foley, 1 for 2 with a single. We get a 3, which is defense again. And the defensive check is an error on the third baseman. So we're checking on the error of the third baseman to Sensei. He's a 4. And again, with a 4 error, it's a 1 through 26. We get an 87, so it's a good play. The Sensei will not have an issue. He will make that play. 2 down for Dave Parker. The Cobra doubled his last time up. 8 is tough. 81. Tough 81 against a lefty is out of range. 81's a fly to center. Bumry puts it away. And there's nothing for the Buccos in the 5th. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 1-1. And leading off will be Scott McGregor. And followed by the top of the order, Bumry and Garcia against Jim Bibby. 10 for Bibby is patient, but it's a 95. Patient 95 on the pitcher card, certainly well out of range. That's a fly to left. So McGregor is out of there. And that will take us to Al Bumry. Bumry singled and grounded to short. 9 is tough, 69. Tough 69 out of range. 69 is a ground ball to short. So he's done it again. 2 ground balls to short. 2 up, 2 down, and speaking of short, it's the shortstop Kiko Garcia. Garcia, sacrifice hit and a fly to left. Whoa, and my yellow die just jumped on me, so let's re-roll the yellow die. Don't know how that happened, but now it's back here behind the table and I don't know where it went. So, did that come all the way down? You know what? I'll just use another yellow die. I've got 2 of them, so I'll just replace that and find that after the video's over. So we'll re-roll the yellow die. Whoops. It helped to get it in the thing here, wouldn't it? All right, so we got a 2, which is ballpark. Ballpark in a 97 means it's in play for Garcia. So Garcia, 30. In play Garcia, 30. Just missed a base hit. 29 would have been a single, but 30 is going to be a liner right to the second baseman, Garner. He snags it. And the 5th inning is in the books. Nothing going on. Played 5 complete, and we're still tied at 1 here at Memorial Stadium. McGregor back out. And he'll face Bill Robinson. So it's Robinson, Stargell, and Madlock. We got a 6 and an 80. 6 is tough. Tough 80. Only goes to 64 in the tough range. 80 is a fly to center field. I think that's center field. It's kind of small print there. It is center field. So 1 away. We'll move this over so we can get the score sheet more in play. All right, so Robinson is retired. That brings up Wilbur Stargell. Had that homer last time up off McGregor. 5 is ballpark again. 65, though, I believe is, let's see, 65 just misses the wheelhouse. 65 is the in play. So Stargell in play against a lefty needs a 26 or less to get a hit. And he got it, 18. That's going to be a base hit for Stargell. So Willie, 2 for 3 for Stargell in this game. He is no threat to steal, so don't even worry about that. Bill Madlock, the batter, with 1 out. Pirates trying to get something going. 4 is in play, 38. In play, 38 against a lefty is out of range. 38 takes us to a ground ball to first, and that's the first chance we have to look for a double play. And I will use the dice for that. Lead die, or the total is 4. Double play rating of Madlock's an 8. Double play rating of McGregor's a 7. 4 is less than both of those, so it will be a double play. 3-6-3 as Murray and Garcia team up for the twin killing. And that's going to do it for the Pirates here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 1. Bibby still hanging in there. Like I said, he only went 4 innings in the real game, but he's pitching well, so why take him out? Here's Ken Singleton. He's 1 for 1, a walk and a single. 5 is tough 89, not this time. Tough 89. Grounds it to Garner at second for out number 1. Brings up Eddie Murray. Murray flied to right and struck out. 4 is in play, 79, way out of range. 79 is going to fly it to Moreno in center field. Easy can of corn. 2 up, 2 down for John Lowenstein. Lowenstein grounded to third, singled and stole second his last time up, and then went to third on a throwing error and then eventually scored. 12 is ballpark, and with a 10 there, that's going to be a wheelhouse check because 10 is going to be way in that range. So Lowenstein has a wheelhouse check, and against a righty, a 49 or less, it's gone. It's a 48, so John Lowenstein. Let it be Lowenstein. Homers off of Bibby with 2 outs and the bases clear, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead. Now the Pirate bullpen starts to loosen as Bibby is scheduled at third next inning, so this is probably Bibby's last batter right here to Sensei. 4 is in play, And I don't know what number that is. I guess it's an 11. In play 11's a base hit for the Sensei. So Bibby, they're trying to get him through the inning, the weaker part of the lineup, but if Dempsey gets on, they may have to pull him early. 5 is tough. 52, that'll do it. Only goes to 47 on Dempsey. 52 is a fly to right. And that will end the inning and end the day for Dempsey, for Bibby. He is going to leave 2-1 Orioles after 6. And we will get a new pitcher for the Pirates. So we'll total up Bibby and see how he did on his day. He went 6 innings, gave up the 1 home run, 2 runs. They were both earned. See how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He walked Singleton, and that was it. Only 1 walk. And his strikeouts, 1, 2, just 2. So there's the line on Bibby. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and the homer. And he will have to come out for a pinch hitter in the top of the 7th. So top of the 7th we go. It'll be Nicosia, Garner, and a pinch hitter. And on the bench for the Pirates, right-handed hitting off the bench, they do have Manny Sanguillen. They do have Lee Lacy. They've got Matt Alexander. And they got Rennie Stennett. So it looks like it's going to be Lee Lacy picking up the bat. So Lee Lacy will hit in place of Bibby. And in the bullpen for the Pirates, they will be turning to Enrique Romo. So Enrique Romo will be the new pitcher for the Pirates. Enrique Romo. And we said that it was going to be Lee Lacy. It's going to pinch hit for the Pirates here in the 7th. But right now it's Steve Nicosia. Pirates trail at 2-1. They better get busy. 5 is Ballpark. So a chance. Ballpark 53 for a right-hander is in the wheelhouse. Right-handed batter is 53. I'm sorry, it's 1 to 54. That's a 53. So Nicosia, 1 to 22 is a home run that could tie the game. So 1 to 22 and Nicosia will tie the game. It's a 42, but it is at least going to be a base hit. So Nicosia, because of that wheelhouse check, got the base hit. That brings up Phil Garner. Normally you might think about bunting here, but he's not a very good bunter, so they're going to have him swing away. Here's McGregor to Garner. 9 is in play. 36 in play is out of range. 36 pops it up to first, so he pops it up to Murray. 1 away. And now that brings up the pinch hitter Lee Lacy, who hit .277 against lefty pitching. So Lee Lacy, 7 is in play. 11, that's a base hit. Just missed extra bases. 10 would have been a triple. 11 is a base hit. We will check runner advancement. So we're going to use the card to see. Base hit, single in the right field, runner on first advances 1 base only. So Nicosia, who doesn't run all that well anyway, only goes to second base. Now we could think about pinch running for Nicosia in case we get another base hit out of Moreno or Foley. Tough call there if you want to pinch run for him or not. Let's see how he runs. Nicosia runs at a 7, so he doesn't run too badly. He's rated as a 7, so we're going to leave him in there. That might be a little bit too much of a rating. I don't know. Here's Moreno. 2 on and 1 out. That's a 6, which is tough 78. Tough 78's out of range against the lefty, so 78 is a fly to center. And that's out number 2. So now it's up to Tim Foley if the Pirates are to tie this ball game. Tim Foley has to come through against McGregor. We get an 8. 8 is tough. 0-4, he's going to strike out. And that's going to end the inning. He only strikes out against lefties on a 1 to 5, and he found it with a 4. So a rare strikeout of Foley against a lefty. And we got the 7th inning stretch upon us. Wild Bill Higgy is warming up the crowd on top of the Oriole dugout, trying to get them stirred up, keep them entertained. And we go to the bottom of the 7th, and we will have a new pitcher, of course, and that new pitcher is going to be Enrique Romo. And Enrique Romo was 10-5, 2.99 ERA, and 5 saves in 1979. He will be on, and he'll be facing Dower, and then they may pinch hit for McGregor and turn it over to their bullpen. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to let McGregor go 7, and that's going to be it. He went 8 actually in the real game, but they're going to only go 7 this inning and turn it over to their good bullpen. So, do the totals on McGregor real quick. 7 innings pitched, 1 run, which was the homer by Stargell. And let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits. He scattered 9 hits over 7 innings, so he had to pitch around some stuff there. He only walked 1, and that was Moreno, but Moreno was caught stealing. And then strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. These are all unofficial because I'm doing them pretty quickly. So there you go. So it's going to be Dower and then a pinch hitter for Mr. McGregor. And with a righty in the pen or on the mound for the Pirates, we'll go to a lefty off the bench for the Orioles. And it's going to be pinch hitting extraordinaire. Well, you know what? They might save him for that. Yeah, it's going to be pinch hitting extraordinaire Terry Crowley. Terry Crowley, 306 against right-handers. So he can't play in any positions in the field, pretty much. He's pretty much a pinch hitter. So Terry Crowley will pinch hit. The first things first, Rich Dower is going to lead it off against Enrique Romo. Start the bottom of the 7th. 8 is tough. 23, that's a strikeout. 1 to 25 is a K. That falls in that category. 1 away, and here's Terry Crowley. Oddly, Terry Crowley was 1 for 1 against lefties, but he had 62 at-bats against right-handers and was hitting 306. Let's see what Crowley can do. We get a 7, which is tough, and an 81. Tough 81 against a right-hander is out of range. 81 is a ground ball to second, handled by Garner. 2 down. Against a lefty on a tough, he would have gotten a base hit. So against a righty, though, it just didn't work out because of the skewed numbers with that 1 for 1. Kind of throws everything off. Obviously not realistic. Sample size is, you gotta have a large sample size to have really good numbers. So here is Al Bumry now with 2 outs and the base is clear. Romo trying to keep things right where they are. 5 is Patient 24. Patient 24 is going to be a 2-out walk to Bumry. And now Bumry might think about running, especially with 2 outs to try to get in scoring position. So he's going to see about getting a jump if he can. And Romo's hold rating is a 9. And the jump rating for Bumry, his run rating is, steal rating is a 5 rather. So 9 hold rating and a 5 attempt makes 0 through 70. So 0 through 70, he will try it. He does. So Bumry will be looking to steal. He's a B and the coach is a 2. So we go right back to our steal chart. And we're going to be looking right again at this B2 category right here. 43 through 99, he makes it. It's an 88, so stolen base for Bumry. He gets in scoring position with 2 outs for Kiko Garcia. And Chuck Tanner. And actually, you know what? They're going to pinch hit for Kiko Garcia because they're going to bring in Belanger for defense. And we're going to have Pat Kelly. Pat Kelly, a good left-handed hitter, will pinch hit. And Belanger will take over at short. So the wheels are turning in the dugout of Earl Weaver. So we're going to have Kelly's going to pinch hit. And then Belanger will take over at short. And Belanger's defense is a C and a 5 as opposed to a D and a 2. So much better there. But pinch hitting time right here for Pat Kelly against Romo. Runner at second and 2 down. That's a 2, which is wheelhouse 49 for Pat Kelly, and that's gone. A 2-run home run, 2-run pinch hit home run for Pat Kelly off of Enrique Romo. And Chuck Tanner, not a happy man. All this happening with 2 outs and nobody on, same as the home run for Lowenstein with 2 outs and nobody on. So Pat Kelly, as Earl Weaver pulling the right strings, got that home run, and now Romo's really in trouble. Try to get him out of the inning if possible. Here's Ken Singleton. 5 is Patient 80. Patient 80 is going to be a fly to center to end the inning. But the damage done, 2-run bomb from the pinch hitter, Pat Kelly. And the new shortstop will be Mark Belanger. He's a C and a 5 at shortstop. So he will take over at short. As we go to the top of the 8th with the new pitcher for the Orioles. And let's see if that's going to be. Romo's day obviously is done. So with the Pirates, they have Robinson, Stargell. So it really doesn't matter who they bring in as far as a lefty v righty. So they're going to bring in Tippy Martinez. So Tippy Martinez will come in to pitch the top of the 8th. Tippy Martinez will pitch the top of the 8th for the O's. So Tippy Martinez is on to face Parker, Robinson, and Stargell. So 2 out of the 3 left-handed, hence the move. So Parker starts off. Although he hit very well against lefties. He hit 300 against lefties, so that part didn't bother him much. But you can see Tippy's got a lot of tough up here and a lot of patient down here. We get a 12. That's ballpark, though. That's 74, but unfortunately for Parker, the ballpark on a 74 is in play only. So can't get that home run, but he can get a base hit on the in play if he gets 30 or less. And he's not. He got 53, so that's going to end up being a ground ball to third base. Handled by the sensei. Now the Orioles 5 outs away from winning this, rewriting history and spoiling Chris's celebration. Here's Bill Robinson. Robinson, it's a 5. That's in play 0-2. In play 0-2 is going to be a double for Bill Robinson. So Bill Robinson with a double, 1-out double off of Tippy. Brings in Pops. Good chance for Pops to do something. Try to get him back in the game. Down 4-1. But one swing of the bat can change all that. We get a 7, which is tough. And 11, that's a strikeout. So that didn't change anything. 2 down, and we're looking at Bill Madlock. So Bill Madlock, the batter. 10 and a 17. 10 is Patient. Patient 17 is going to be a walk. So that's going to put 2 on with 2 out for Steve Nicosia. Now they could bring in a righty out of the bullpen, but then they would just pinch it for Nicosia with a tough lefty. So Earl Weaver's going to keep Martinez out there to face Nicosia. 11 is Patient 69. Patient 69 for Nicosia is out of range to fly to center, and the inning is over. So nothing doing there for the Pirates in the 8th inning. That's all the only inning Tippy Martinez is going to work. Gives up 1 hit and a walk, but no runs. And he struck out 1. And we have a new pitcher coming in for the Pirates in the bottom of the 8th. It will be Kent DeColvey. There's no reason to hold him out. I mean, can't wait forever. The game will be over before you get him in there. So might as well go with your best. And Kent DeColvey is your best. And actually, there's going to be a double switch by the Pirates. And they are going to go to Ed Ott. So what's going to happen is Ed Ott is going to come in the game and bat in the 9th position. And the pitcher, DeColvey, will come up and bat in the 7th position. So Ott is a C, 5, and a 3, and he runs at a 7. So double switch time right there. So Nicosia is out of the game, but DeColvey is in, and we'll look at the tough results for Romo, pitching 1 inning, giving up 2 runs because of the home run to Garcia, but it was a 2-out walk in front of that really hurt him. Walking a strikeout, but the damage done there. So now 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Ed Ott again is the new catcher, and he will bat in the number 9 position in the order. And Kent DeColvey on the mound for the Pirates. 10-8, 275, and a 31 save situation. This is just one to try to keep the score where it is. give his team a chance. And in the bullpen for the Orioles for the ninth is Stan the Man Unusual, Don Stanhouse. Call him full pack because Earl Weaver would go through a full pack of cigarettes waiting for him to get the inning over with. So here's Eddie Murray against DeColvey. Get a 3, which is defense, so we're checking the defense. That is an error rating on the second baseman, Garner. Garner is a 3 on his error rating. So on the stadium card, error rating 3 is a 1 through 35. That's a 57, so he will make the play. No problem, 1 away. Eddie Murray is retired. Brings up John Lowenstein, had that big home run in the 6th that broke the tie. 5 is in play. 43, it's out of range. 43 is a ground ball to third, handled by Madlock. And there's 2 away for Doug DeSensei. DeSensei stepping up. And we get a 11, which is tough, and an 0-2, that's gone. Struck him out. So DeColvey, 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. Just does his job for sure. And now we go to the 9th. Last chance for the Buccos, and it'll be against Stan the Man Unusual, Don Stanhouse, 7-3, 285 with the 21 saves. And due up for the Pirates will be Garner, Ott on the double switch, and then Moreno. So Garner, Ott, and Moreno due up for the Buccos here in the 9th against Don Stanhouse. See all the patience on Stanhouse. He's walked a lot of guys. 4 is patient, 37. Garner, patient 37 is actually going to be a base hit against a right-hander. So how do you like that? Phil Garner leads off with a single. And then it takes us to Ed Ott. So Ed Ott getting his first at bat. He hit 276 against right-handed pitching. Stanhouse to Ott. Earl Weaver smokes a Chesterfield. 7 is tough out, 54. 54 on a tough result is going to be a base hit, but the tough out means when you get the tough out, if it's a base hit here, it has to be an out. It has to either be a strikeout or an out. So when you get a tough out, we're going to drop down to this side and use that 54 number. 54, fly to left. So Ed Ott flies to left. So that's what that difference on the tough out means. Difference between tough and tough out. Had we gotten a tough, that would have been a base hit. In fact, it would have been, it would have been a single. But since it's tough out, that's an automatic out. At least it wasn't a double play. So there's 1 away and back to the top of the order for Moreno. Omar Moreno, 8 is patient. 82 though is out of range. 82 is a fly to center. And now the Pirates down to their final out, Tim Foley. If he can get on, you got Dave Parker up next. If Foley gets on, Parker would be the tying run. So critical here for Foley to try to get on somehow, some way. 7 is tough out though, it won't happen. 99, that's a fly to left. And there's your ball game. The Baltimore Orioles reverse history. Beat the Pirates by the score of 4-1. Winning pitcher was Scott McGregor. Save to Stanhouse. The loser, tough luck loser, was Jim Bibby. Do all the other totals here real quick. And there was a hit there. So Pirates, 1 run, 11 hits. So that was their problem. They scattered 11 hits. So look at that line score. 1, 11, and 1, 4, 7, and 0. Just out of curiosity, I'll do left on base. How many did the Pirates leave on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They left 10 guys on base. Whereas the Orioles left 2, 3, 4, 5. They only left 5 on base. So the Orioles cashed in, the Pirates did not. That's where the Orioles took advantage and the Pirates missed opportunities. So Chris, I apologize that the Pirates were not able to win this for you, but tough sledding all the way around. And that's going to do it from here. Remember, check out Tabletop Sports Delaware. Give him a like and a sub. And check out all the good stuff he's doing on his channel with the baseball replays. And maybe some other sports replays as well, but primarily baseball replays. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are, staying safe. And as usual, Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.